Hey guys, in today's video I am going to take my Carrie wig by UniWigs and show you how I was able to lighten the hair color as well as take some of the shine out so we could go from this to this. Isn't that a huge difference in the look of the wig? And I'm also going to show you what Permatease is and how we can kind of tame that. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Alright, and once again, I have UniWigs Carrie synthetic wig. I'm in the color Almond Frost, which is AL01003-01R. And that R means it's rooted, meaning it has a darker root than the rest of the hair color. So as you can see, this has a lot of different shades in it. You can see that darkness along the root there. And that also has quite a bit of Permatease, so we're going to be working on that as well. Now to take out the shine, here's the things you're going to need. You're going to need a hairbrush, a large powder brush, and some loose powder in a light color. You don't want a translucent for this, so I just used my Fit Me powder that I had laying around. And I did place mine on the styrofoam head, and I have that pinned in place. You'll also notice that I have, just to pick up all the powder, collect it all, not make a mess, I have one of my dog's little wee pads because we don't use those anymore. So here's kind of a close-up. I'm just dipping the brush into the powder, and I'm tapping that in right there along the root line. And I'm being pretty generous with the powder. I don't want to go in, just be skimpy with it. Now let's speed this up. So now I'm going to repeat this whole process all over. I'm going to do this in sections, so I want to make sure that I lift it up and go to those layers underneath, because you can see just how dark that is as well. And we're just going to keep continuing adding powder and brushing it out as we go along, because we don't want any tangles in there. You can go ahead and use a wide tooth comb as well. I chose to use the brush since I am keeping it untangled, and that's just helping me to get in there and distribute that powder throughout the hair shaft as I'm working. At this point, I'm now going to go ahead and take the wig off of the wig stand. I want to work on the underside where that cap is, so I can make sure that I get the powder underneath there as well. And as you can see just how dark that is. Now most of that's the cap, but I want to go right along that hairline and really make sure that I get that powder evenly distributed throughout the whole thing. And once more, I'm going to go ahead and just brush that out. You really want to keep all the tangles out of this, so just give it a good brushing. So now that I have it brushed out, I'm just kind of inspecting it. I see some areas that I want to go back and add some more powder to. I should have probably taken the little stopper thing out of the powder, make it a lot easier, but at this point, because that wig is so long, I just started sprinkling it all over. So as you can see, I'm going through and brushing it again. You don't want to get tangles in this. And I'm just basically speeding up the whole process of taking that shine out, which will happen naturally as you wear the wig. It'll happen after about 2 or 3 times, but I'm wearing it. But let's kind of take a nice little close-up here, and we can see just how that wig has lightened up. And even in the root area, you can see that that has dramatically lightened up. It's not so dark there. And it's also helped to bring out the highlights in it. I think it looks a lot more natural. It's got more blonde highlights instead of having that red shade in there. So I think it turned out very, very pretty. What do you think?
Okay, now this wig also has what's known as Permatease in that. So if you're not familiar with Permatease, it is all of these little short frizzy looking hairs that are along the root end of that. And the reason being is the wig is supposed to have a lot of volume. So if you see this and you don't like it, there's a couple things you can do to either disguise it or get rid of it. The first one is you can just work with it. So you can take your wide tooth comb and actually just kind of lightly go along and give it a little lift. Now, if you have a lighter rooted wig, those are going to show a lot more than a dark one. I have a pin right there, so I won't be able to get right there. So that alone, and then you can use a little hairspray on it if you like. You can also get your fingers up underneath there and just give it a little bit more volume and play around with it. And that actually helps keep that poof in it. So if we look at the side now, you've got a lot more poof in it, and you don't really see those because the hair is kind of disguising it. Now, if you don't want that showing, here's what you can do. You're going to need your bottle of water, just a spray bottle, a hair dryer, and then also a fine tooth comb. And what you're going to want to do is first go ahead and comb out the wig. Now, I have this on a styrofoam head, and you want to most likely just do this on a styrofoam head or wig holder, just something that will help you keep it in place. I wouldn't recommend doing this right on top of your head. So now you can see I flattened it out, and those are just a lot more noticeable. Makes the wig look fake. So I don't like big poofy hair. I want to get rid of that. So what I'm going to do is take my spray bottle, and I'm just going to simply spray down the center. And even though you are not supposed to use heat on a wig, we're going to use it just a little bit. So I'm going through and I'm just lightly combing this. This is going to be a little difficult because this foam head is going to want to move around on me while I do it. So let me turn it this way. I've got my hair dryer. Let's move it up to medium heat, and I'm going to do it on low. Hope you can see that in there. So I'll do it on low. I do have this piece on the end that kind of helps get the flow of the air all in one direction. Let me get this out a little more. And I'm simply going to take the comb, lay it over the top of this, and then just comb down the hair. I only need to do this for like 10 seconds, and that will help it. So let's do it. Here we go. Pause for a second here. I can see that's working really well. My problem is I really need another set of hands to hold on to the styrofoam head for me. So I think what will do instead of combing it, I'm just going to direct and get it combed out first, the heat on there, and I'm just going to press down with my hand. So try it that way. Okay, now that's still kind of warm. I'm going to quickly comb through it again. And this is really working out great. These can get, they're so kinky and curly. I'm going to show you just real quick what we're looking like now. And hopefully you can see a difference. I still need to do a little bit more, and that's on this side here. So let me spray it down a little bit because it got dry. All right, I am pretty darn happy with that now. So let me go put it on and I'll see how it looks. Okay guys, I am back and this is what it looks like now that I've had a chance to just smooth all of this down. I did go in with a little bit of hairspray. I took a little bit of my own hair, if I can find it here. So like that's my own hair in here. I would have done along the hairline, but because my hair is long and it has a long bang, it just didn't look right because my hair would be sticking down long. So can't do right there, which would have been nice because then I could have teased it a little bit and worked it into the part a little better. But let me get up close and hopefully you can see that that has now not totally gone down. I probably need to play with it a little bit more. So again, I could work with this. I could take my big tooth comb and I could just push it up. Actually, let me just do that real quick and do all the work I just did. Just give it a little bit of lift there. And that too will just help tie everything together. So this is the completed look. I just threw my hair up in a ponytail. I don't have it all pinned down properly, so it's got a big, huge bulge back here where my ponytail is. I am going to go ahead and sew the two clips right here in the ear area. I just feel like I need a little bit more support there. It tends to want to keep sliding back, so you can even see right there, it's still starting to slide back. So I think if I do it right there at the ear area, that will work out just fine. And I've lightened it up. Worked on the roots a little bit, got the Permatease down and looking a lot better. So I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up for you guys. I want to thank you so much for watching. Welcome to my kitchen, by the way. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please make sure that you go ahead and hit that subscribe button along with the bell notifications so you'll be notified when I upload new videos, which of course is every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And if you enjoyed the video or like to see me do wigs, hair toppers, anything to do with hairs, give this a thumbs up. If you have any comments, questions, things like that, feel free to leave those down below. And until next time, love you all, and bye-bye.